Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers and a special shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good with you? Alright, moving right along. 50 secrets it's okay to keep from your partner in this 50 video campaign. The next item on the bucket list is you still have feelings for your ex. Let's get into this. Even if a relationship has ended, badly or not, it's possible to still have feelings for a previous partner, and those feelings won't necessarily pose a threat to your current relationship. Still, it's better to keep this one under wraps to avoid making your current partner feel insecure about your commitment to them. All right, let me approach this one delicately here. What I kind of noticed this article is doing, it's assuming that these things are happening. Some of these things are happening at a point in the relationship in which there's already strong commitment and there's already some time there. That's what I think this article is taking for granted, which is strange to me because some of these things will only be an issue in the beginning stages of a relationship. For example, when you meet someone and you start entertaining the idea of becoming romantically involved with that person, naturally people talk and share pain and breakups and past relationships. It's just a way to connect. People share pain. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just what people do. Matter of fact, people do that more. People share the scenario behind their relationship, past relationship ending, more than they talk about the future with that partner. This is just what I've seen happen. It's just the truth. And it's not wrong to share that pain, to share that past of that relationship and those issues, because you want to know where your partner's coming from and what state of mind they're in entering into that new relationship, and vice versa. You want them to know and understand where you're coming from as well, and where your state of mind and your current state of emotions are and everything. And I don't see anything wrong with you mentioning that you still have feelings for your partner, because if you were with someone for 4 years or 2 years or 5 years, or you have kids with them and all this other shit, and now you're starting over again, it's a natural thing to assume that there's still a connection there, unless you have been broken up from that person for years and you've already moved. You know what I'm saying? Like you that might be your first new partner since that breakup, because you just took time to just be you and get back into you. But most people don't do that. Most people go from relationship to relationship, sometimes with only days or weeks from when their last relationship ended. And that's just a reality. That's just what people do. No matter if it's right, wrong, or indifferent, or if it's advisable, or if that's what is suggested for you to do. It's just what people do. It is what it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with mentioning that to your partner. Of course, what I would say would be ideal is, if you know that going in, maybe you shouldn't be jumping into a new relationship. But then too, I have to stipulate to this, and if you're watching this, you know this is true, because if you haven't done it, you know people who have 100%. Sometimes the nature of a connection with a previous partner is so strong, and sometimes the breakup is amicable, or for a reason that breakup has to happen. Even though those two people love each other, care about each other, and would like to be together, for some reason or another, sometimes it's just a natural part of life that breakup has to happen. Those two people have to go their separate ways. And in those cases, there's no animosity. There's no problem. It's just love and connection there. And just, being upset about the fact that you have to go your separate ways, because you know that it's for the best for one or both of those parties, right? And in those situations, people will force themselves to move on, to find a new person to get into a committed relationship with, to distract them from that situation and to keep them from having a chance of going back, or to force their way to get over it. You hear the term, you get under somebody new to get over somebody old, right? I mean, it's life. It's what happens. It's what people do, and it is what it is. I can't judge that. I can't be mad at that, because I've done this shit my entire life. I get out of a relationship, And for whatever reason, I meet somebody else, however it happens, and I get over my old relationship by getting into a new one. 99.99999% of us do that. Can't avoid it. Is what it is. Now, I'm the person who's always going to say from the beginning what my current emotional state is, what my current mental state is. If I'm dealing with a situation, if I'm not over a situation, I communicate that because it's just me. I just always believe that going into a new relationship, it's easier to be honest going in than it is to try and pick up and find that honesty later. And that's always been my policy. So I would say, if this is something that you are cognizant of, it's something that you feel like potentially pose an issue, but you know that you have no intentions of going back to that relationship, try to make your partner understand, and they should try and find a way to understand, because it's something that we are all subject to, and nobody can fault you for feelings, because feelings are not in your control, only actions are. And people make the false assumption that, well, if you still have feelings for your partner, or if you weren't yet over your partner, then why did you stay in a relationship? People don't get that shit. Sometimes people are smart enough and selfless enough to leave a situation because they know it may be for what's best for that other partner. It may be what's best for both people, because they know that no matter how much they get along, how much they love each other or whatever, in the bigger picture, it's just not going to work. And that, I've been in situations like that, you know what I'm saying, where, I've decided to walk away from situations because I knew that was what was in the best interest of a person that I was dealing with, so that they could follow their path. Because sometimes you just know that with certain people, they're always going to put themselves second and put you first. And sometimes that's to the detriment of them living their best life. And sometimes, and if you're a selfless person, and if you truly are about the love you claim you have for a person, the best way to prove how much you really love a person is to be willing to let them go. And that's just what that is. So I would say, if you're the partner who feels like you have feelings for your ex still, I don't think there's no harm or foul, especially if it's still early on in the relationship, to let that partner know. I mean, have that conversation regardless. It's a difficult conversation, but sometimes it can explain away certain things. Because I'll tell you this, what a lot of you people are worried about, causing issues with, and stirring up drama where there maybe isn't any already. Consider this. The same things that you may be struggling with, that you may not want to tell your partner for fear that that partner may feel away. Hold on. The same things that you may be hesitant to talk to your partner about because you may think that they may feel away. Consider for a second the possibility, and this is a very, very strong possibility, because we all suffer from the same afflictions and deal with the same things. Consider the possibility that they're probably dealing with, if not the same thing, something very similar, or at least one or a few of the things on this list at the same time that you are. And sometimes, and this will determine the kind of person you have, potentially, sometimes mentioning some of the very things that you think will cause issues will make the other person feel relaxed and open enough to share some of the things that they've been feeling or harboring to you. And that can be used to do one of two things. It can be used to dissolve and break down the relationship right then and there, or it can be looked at as a way to make the relationship stronger. And I'll leave it up to you and to your partner to decide which one of those things for your relationship it will be. And that's just that. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. Let me know what y'all think about this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.